Hey there, it's Tom Corson-Knowles, #1 best-selling author of the Kindle Publishing Bible series. And right now in this video, I want to answer the question, how do I lower my refund rates for Kindle books on Amazon? Now, I've gotten this question so many times from customers and clients and other authors who have read my books, asking about refund rates, what are normal refund rates, what are abnormal refund rates, and how do I stop customers from refunding my book all the time. So just some personal data from my own books and from my clients' books across the board over way more than 10,000 ebook sales. We've had an average of about 2% refund rate for our Kindle books. Now that's a really good refund rate. 2% is really low. When you look at people who sell products online, usually like a 4 or 5% refund rate is a really good, really low refund rate. So 2% is incredibly low. I think, there's just a lot of trust on Amazon. So I think it makes it easier to get that low refund rate. And also, to be honest with you, most Amazon customers don't even know how to get a refund for a book if they don't like it. You have to go to your Amazon.com site, you have to go to Manage My Kindle, then you have to find the recent book, and you only have 7 days to refund it. So, it makes it kind of hard for customers to refund books. I know there's a lot of authors out there complaining. We've even seen some petitions online, authors complaining about refund rates for Kindle books and saying it's piracy and this and that. And, I think it's just fair. When any customer buys a product, if they're not happy with it, they deserve a refund in a timely manner. Maybe not, 5 years later, but, 7 days later for sure, if someone buys a product and they're not happy with it, they should be able to refund it, whether or not they've read the book or whatever. No big deal. It's just about being fair to customers, and that's what we all want. Is we all, whenever I buy something, I want to make sure it's fair for me. If I'm unhappy, it just makes sense to really get a refund, especially in 7 days. It's really not that big of a deal. So first of all, I think that, having refunds on Amazon, the way they're structured, is perfectly fine. It doesn't really harm authors. Sure, you're always going to have, unethical people who will go out there and maybe they'll abuse the Amazon Kindle refund system. But that's not widespread. It's not everyone's not doing it. And, there's still a lot of authors making a lot of money selling Kindle books. So it's really not a big issue. But I think what you need to look at, if your refund rates on Kindle are much higher than 2%, definitely if it's any higher than 5%, I would definitely take a look at what you're doing, what your books are, and why your refund rates are so high. Now take this with a grain of salt. If you've only sold less than 100 books, then your refund rate is not going to make any sense at all because there's just not enough data. But if we're talking about 1,000 book sales or more, and your refund rate is holding steady at over 5%, then I think there's definitely cause for concern there, because your customers are saying, look, this is not the content that we expected, or it's not content that's good enough. And I would really take a look at that. So especially for, nonfiction authors, if you've got guidebooks out there, tutorials, and you've got really high refund rates, then there's probably something wrong with your content. Maybe you've got formatting errors, maybe you've got typos, and maybe you need a good editor. I don't know what it is, but if it's above 5% refund rate, that means a lot of people are unhappy with the book, and there's got to be a reason for that. So, I use that as a sign. I would use that as a sign personally, to go back over my books, to go over them, hire an editor, make sure it's formatted properly, check your books on different devices to make sure the formatting is great, and make sure that you're delivering the value that you can and that you ought to be delivering in your books. If someone pays whatever price for your book, 99 cents or $9.99 or whatever price it is, they expect a certain kind of quality from an ebook. And if the quality is not there, that could be a big reason why a lot of people are getting really high refund rates. And I've seen, all kinds of stuff on Kindle. There's a lot of people that used to do PLR content on Kindle, which is private label rights, which is basically just, content, that's been written by someone else and rehashed and reused, and nothing really original. And a lot of people are still kind of using that kind of content. Of course, you can't use duplicate content anymore on Amazon, but a lot of people are still kind of just writing really basic stuff that's not really helpful, that's not really unique or new. And when readers get that stuff, they're going to leave you bad reviews and they're going to refund your product. So the key to building sustainable, full-time income as an author is to write really great books. It's so obvious. Everyone knows, write great books, deliver a great product. That's really the key to success. And obviously there's a lot more to it in terms of marketing and strategies and systems behind that. But at the end of the day, if you've got a crappy book out there, then there's no wonder that you're going to have high refund rates and you're going to get bad reviews. And that's just the way it is. So, and also things change over time. Like when you first start out writing books, I don't expect your first book or my first book or anyone's first book to be amazing. I know personally my first book was absolutely horrible. I'm really ashamed of it. But, since then, I've edited it, I've improved it, and I've tried to do that with all my books. Every couple of months, I'll go back and look at my books and say, okay, what have I learned since then that I can add? What can I improve? As you become a better writer and a better author and a better expert in your field, you ought to be going back and improving your books. And that's a really powerful way you can reduce your refund rates as well. I remember my first book had actually pretty high refund rates. I think it was about 4 or 5%. And now it's back down to about the 2% average. So the reason I think that changed is because I went back, I updated the book, I added more information, I made it more valuable to readers. And so now it's a better book, and people who buy it and read it are happier with it. So I think that's really the key, is that you're just always striving to improve, and that's how you're going to reduce your refund rates. That's how you're going to create a long-term sustainable business as an author, is you're always trying to improve. You're never just satisfied with what you've done, Even my latest book, there's things that I can improve in my latest book I just released 2 weeks ago, and it's already #1 bestseller, but I know that there's things that I can improve, and so I'm constantly going back and updating and adding more information, clarifying some ideas, making it easier to read for customers, making it better and more valuable for customers. And if you do that, you'll be in the head of your field. You'll be at the top of the game, because most people just aren't willing to do that. Most people think, okay, I've written a book, I'm done, I never have to update it, I never have to change it. And that's one way of doing things, that's perfectly fine. But if you really want to be the best in your field, and if this is really a real career for you, then I urge you, go back to your books and edit them again, review them again, improve them, add more information, add more value there. And if you do that, customers will love you. They'll notice. I've had reviews from some of my books that said, oh my God, this book on Kindle publishing was updated in April, and they read the book in May, and they said, I can't believe the information is that up to date. And it's just little things like that. It only took me like 15 minutes to go back and edit the book and change a little section there based on an Amazon update. And it didn't take me a lot of time or investment, but it really made a difference to my customers. It really improved my reviews, really improved my sales, and it'll do the same for you if you really care that much about your books and about what you're doing, about your customers. Then you'll create the best product possible, and no one can stop you from succeeding at that point, because you're ahead of the game. You're doing more than other people are doing. And that's really the key to standing out and the key to success, and the ultimate key to lowering your refund rates on Amazon. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you want more like it, go ahead and click subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any questions or comments, post your comments below this video, and I'll be happy to help any way I can. If you'd like more free video trainings on how to become a best-selling author, check out ebookpublishingschool.com. We have an entire free video training course just for you. And I'm wishing you an incredible day. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.